everyday thing. It's an everyday thing. It's an everyday thing when you let your nuts hang.
This is what TikTok didn't see after I found out he was cheating on me. I sold the whole house while he was at work and had it moved while he was gone. When he came home, he was lost, but I was nowhere to be found. I had changed my phone number and went no contact up until this day. He didn't want his home, and he didn't like his family, and he forgot to tell me, y'all. So I forgot to tell him that while I knew he was cheating, I built a new house, and he couldn't live in it. I found out my husband was cheating. I never confronted him, stayed with him another year while I planned the ultimate get back, part 4. Before I moved the house off of the land while he was at work, the woman he cheated with kept it secret all those years until one day she didn't. That phone that I never checked, I got logged into the cell phone bill, changed the bill plan to bill detail, and started getting statements with all of his incoming calls, outgoing calls, incoming texts, and outgoing texts. Those checking and savings accounts that I paid little attention to, I got logins to those too. I created my own profile, started moving money from the account. He was waiting for a large settlement to come in that he had been waiting on for 5 years that was due to come in 3 months. I started moving that money in small increments where he would not notice to an account that I opened that was separate. I knew in order for me to protect that money from the divorce that would be coming up, I would have to move it in advance. And I had to wait until the inheritance got into an account that we were joint on, and I did just that. I put the house up for sale on the internet that Monday after the Saturday the 23-year mistress sent me the gallery of photos of them and exposed him. And the house had been on sale up until the date that it was actually moved from the land, and he had no idea. He was too busy living all of his double lives. I had purchased that home in cash with all of my own money, and his name was not on it. From the information I collected, I found that there were 3 important women. The 23-year mistress, the woman who had the 2 kids for him that were ages 5 and 7, and there was a female in the hood who had just had a newborn. She agreed to not tell him that I knew about her. I reached out to her and we met up. She was a game runner. She thought she was about to run game on me, but I ran game on her. I made her a part of the settlement that I received in the divorce. She was sued for alienation of affection. She knew about the marriage. I understand. He knew about the marriage too. But because she was a willing participant in the demise of the marriage, she had to pay too. That was the ultimate team up. I celebrated holidays and birthdays and sent her baby gifts, and she thought she was finessing me, but I knew that I would get double for my trouble. And then there was the 23-year mistress. I owed her something special. She made sure that when she let me know about their relationship, she also let me know that she always knew about me, always knew about my kids, but she could care less. She told me that she rolled my man backwards. I had something for her. I had already joined her family. We had become cousin-in-laws because I was engaged to be married to her cousin. On top of that, I had kids for him, and there were several other women who had kids for him, all while she was barren. I made sure she knew about those other people as well. I also found out he was cheating with one of her friends. She lived 2 hours away working at a plant. He was in our city with the best friend, living his best life. So I made sure she knew about her best friend and the man that she rolled backwards. The photos of him and her friend, the voice memos that the friend would send to him, and the videos of him and the friend in the act must have really did something to her. Something like a mental health change. Don't that sound familiar? She ended up transferring job locations, popped up at his job with him and the friend, which was his other woman. There was a big fight and scuffle, and they all lost their jobs. I never said anything to him, remember? So when he came home, he was upset and angry. He kept leaving every day like he was going to work, and I knew he had got fired, but he just couldn't say anything. He didn't know where any of it was coming from. How did I get the passcode to his cell phone, you ask? I set up a mirror perfectly in the bedroom near the bed where he would sit and hold his phone to unlock his phone to kind of scroll, you know. I was able to get the password, and one night he came in a little too full, and he was unaware of what was going on. So I went through the phone and saved all of these things to my phone. I planned the ultimate get back, all while he was right there in my face for over a year. So when I moved the house from the land while he was at work without him knowing, him returning to the house that he thought he had, the element of surprise in that, I disconnected his phone while the house was being moved. I changed my phone numbers. I'm losing his wife, his children, his job, his stability, and then his 23-year mistress, because of all of what she knew he had did in the time that she thought she was the one, was just enough. The wedding with her cousin, after he fired friends. My ex-husband cheated on me. I moved the whole house 2 hours away off the land while he was at work for 8 hours. I put the house up for sale online the day I found out he was cheating, and he didn't even know it was for sale. I was letting people come look at the house while he was at work for over a year before it sold. I kept playing clueless. This was a game of chess. He was a better player until I found out we were playing, and I started to play back. I got connected to the women that I found and set them up one by one. The mistress that was around the longest had a big family. I married one of her cousins because my ex-husband loved them so much that he was willing to lose his 4 kids, wife, and a stable life for them. So I just needed to be in that family too. That's where that good stuff is. Maybe he wasn't getting what he needed, so he got his rocks off elsewhere, but wasn't man enough to say he wasn't happy or just leave. I'm a real woman, so I didn't cheat. I let what I wanted find me. I left my ex-husband with no warning and never talked to him again. Oh, now I just want the best for my ex-mistress. I did my little one too. I paid her back enough, so I let up. She is in the family now, right? You wish the best for your family, huh? Word on the street was she wanted to be friends. I met up with her. Welcome to the family reunion. I didn't marry her cousin because I married her cousin and did. He came unexpectedly, planned at the perfect time from the wrong right family, part 11, the girl's girl. It's the 4-year anniversary. I need to make sure that every girl in the world sees the quietest crash out in history. Ex-husband cheated on me, and it's been 4 years since I moved the house off the land 2 hours away from where we lived in the 8 hours while he was at work. This is the most recent update. Part 2.888. I ate down with that. I ran across my ex-husband's 23-year side piece cousin. It was a miracle because I was on a dating app with millions of people, but somehow he messaged me not knowing who I was, and I responded not knowing who he was or who he was related to. I met him on Hinge and found out 5 months later that my ex-husband's most faithful mistress of 23 years was the man I met on the app's cousin. My ex-husband found out about me and his side piece cousin and was losing. I went all gas, no breaks with that man. I married him, baby. I found the one who my soul loves. And it was whatever with my ex and his little boo. I almost forgot what they did to me all those years with all that laughing and playing behind my back with his family, her family, his homeboys, and my mama. They all knew about my ex and that woman. I just didn't know about them. Told y'all he played a better game until I found out we were playing. My ex-husband ended up cheating on her, but he turned his cheating game up to pro max. He got a little smarter and a lot of sneakier. He breadcrumbed that woman for 23 years, claiming he wanted to marry her so bad, but I divorced him and he still didn't marry her. He wouldn't come to court when I filed for divorce. He thought if he didn't come, it wouldn't happen. Well, after he got the certified divorce decree delivered for a default divorce, because he didn't come with my maiden name on the papers, with his name off of mine, he knew then. She said he changed on her. No more lovey-dovey, no more spin that. He was mean, like he was trying to pay her back for me divorcing him. He had been cheating with her since high school, while I was thinking that our marriage was solid. I know he never expected me to find out about them because it took so long for me to find out. He never expected me to leave him if I ever found out. And he never thought I was smart enough to move like I did. The move made history. It was the safest way to do it. Argue for what? He did what he did, then I did what I did. Nothing to talk about. This is a lesson for all women. Control your emotions. Make no analysis announcements, and don't be acting like a baby throwing fits. You grown, move like it. When I left him, the thrill he had for being with his side piece left with me. He left her while she was at work without telling her, just like I did to him, and haven't talked to her since. When she wanted to meet up, all I could say to her was, you hurt me deeply, and you helped me so. You tried to swap destinies with me. You tried to take something good that you thought I had, but you found out you took my curse. I can't help you like you couldn't help me. You made your bed hard. You have to lay in it. You have a day. There's still some girls that never saw it, and still some girls that need to learn it. Emotional intelligence, moving in silence, and our intuition is our superpower. But we know that once I left him, the thrill was gone between him and his 23-year mistress. It was jokes and laughs when me and him was together, and she was working so hard to destroy my family. And she had him all to herself. He didn't want her anymore. So he did to her what he did to me on Pro Max. He left her too while she was at work in 8 hours and never talked to her again. But because we're family now, she wants help to get revenge for promising to marry her all those years. Now she's in her 40s. She never got a chance to have children because she was pregnant several times and wasn't able to keep them. She was barren. Now my little cousin wants to be friends because she realizes that I'm big cousin and I make big moves. I'm not done yet. Yes, it was my mama that helped my husband cheat on me for over 15 years. She was not excluded from the get back. Yes, it was my mama that helped my husband cheat on me for over 15 years. I moved the house off of the land 2 hours away while he was at work for 8 hours. I knew he had been cheating for over a year, and I stayed with him. I did not say a word. My mama was one of the people that I needed to get back. There was also 3 important women that I found out about. The most important one, he was cheating with for over 23 years. Well, I later found out that my mom would have her at her apartment, and they got along so well. My mom considered her her daughter-in-law. She would visit my mama's house. My mom made it a habit to lie to me. She would call me when she knew my ex-husband had someone at her house. She would make conversation with me because she wanted to see if I knew anything so that she can let him know. I can remember a day that I went to my mom's house unexpectedly. I didn't call to let her know that I was coming, but I knew my husband was over there. So I went over there, and there was this car that was backing out from her apartment. The window tint was too dark for me to see, but I later found out that that was the 23-year mistress that was leaving my mom's apartment when she saw me pulling up. She asked me to take her to bingo. I was on my way to work with 2 of the 4 kids that I had because I only had 2 at that time. She went outside and flattened my tires. She stood in her doorway smoking her cigarette while she stared at me after I went downstairs, and I called her to come down because I was going to drop her off. And when the tires were slow to roll, I realized that the light was on in my car saying that the tire was clapped. I looked up at her. She was standing upstairs smoking a cigarette in her doorway, and she slammed the door. She hated me so much. The man that she was married to, she allowed to have me when I was a child, from ages 5 to 11, until I told someone at school. But she was angry at me because she said that I took her husband. And she said if it had not been for the red toenail polish that I would put on or the fingernail polish that I would wear, he wouldn't think I was a woman. And I was only 7 years old. After I divorced my ex-husband, my mom stopped talking to me. I no longer had any stories of pain and betrayal to call to tell her about. I got married back in 2023. I invited my mom. I tried to introduce her to my new husband, and she refused to come to the wedding. She took sick. We all age right. And because the man that she had been with for over 30 years was not married to her, he was not called to make decisions on her behalf. I was, because I was the oldest child.
Man, I hate that her audio was so low, so I'm gonna have to fix that when I edit this.
She refused to purchase any insurances because she didn't want me to have anything. So there was no life insurance. There was no medical insurance. She thought that she would be fine forever and would live for a lifetime. Had to be. She couldn't have thought that I would be taking my money to care for her. She couldn't have thought that. There was this nursing home that she had made sure that I was aware that she did not ever want to go to in the event something should happen. It's been a short period of time there, and the staff would leave her there for days in the bed in the same spot, not rolling her over or moving her around. They didn't give her her medications correctly. They didn't check on her as often as they needed to. They didn't check her vitals as often as they needed to. She only stayed there for about a month. I didn't hurt her. She hurt herself. Why did y'all do this to me? I spent almost all my life being betrayed. I was so good to you, but this is how you repaid me. You kept cutting the rope while I was holding on, and every time it would get thin, I grabbed onto a thicker part. I was rowing the boat for us all. You and my mama was digging holes, making it harder for me. I knew I was pulling something heavy, but I couldn't put my finger on it. Call me bag lady. Who gonna hurt her back? Dragging all them bags like that. That's because nobody ever told me all that I must hold on to is me. And the day I realized this is when I became free. Right now I'm loving my life a little extra because as a matter of fact, I don't have to deal with nothing that I don't want to. You almost had me summoned scared. You took advantage of my innocence when I was a young girl. But look at me now. I am a woman. I am wise. I am strong. I am amazing. I know how to walk away. I know how to leave things that no longer serve me. I know how to set boundaries. I know how to live life the way that I want.
Hey, what to do, everyday people, man? It's your boy PJ. Today we back with another lit video, back in the confessional. And yes, we staying lit, big dog, man. Shout out to my everyday people who rock with me every day. Shout out to anybody who's watching on Facebook and Twitch, man. We're gonna keep it lit. Hey, man. Damn, her audio was so low, so I don't know if y'all heard everything, but you know, it really came in like the last two videos. Her music selection is dope. But whoever, I don't know if those songs is gonna make it to YouTube. They're gonna have to be removed, so it's all good. But in any other case, her mom, the side chicks was evil. That was crazy. 23 years, you know that man's married. I believe she may be in North Carolina because I know that's a state. If you alienation of love is a lawsuit in North Carolina. I know that for sure because it's another person I know that got sued for that. I don't know him personally, but on social media. And then, but the mom is the most evilest person in the story. The fact that she knew, the fact that she helped out, the fact that she played along, the fact that she befriended the mistress and saying it's like her other daughter, and that's just crazy. Or daughter-in-law, what you call a daughter-in-law? Like, to help your son-in-law cheat on your daughter is crazy. So then, not only that, she allowed her husband to take advantage of her as a kid. That's even what. That's why I said the mom is the worst person in this story. There's nobody more terrible in this story than a mom. The side chicks, they out of line, but I think they got fed up with him too, and that's why they started telling her everything. Once they started telling her everything, I think that's when he knew. Well, he didn't know because he wouldn't know. It don't shock me that he knew any of this was going on, and he was just out playing the game. He was too busy worried about what he had going on. But crazy situation. Let me know what y'all think about this crazy situation in the comment section.